if you can see it, Mark, on camera, but I literally have goosebumps listening to this shit. You know, Music and Words United is only possible because of viewers and supporters like you. So please subscribe or you're going to make Mark cry. Hello and welcome to another episode of Music and Words Unite. I am your co-host Troy, and with me are my friend and co-host Mark. How you doing, Mark?
Hello.
All right. And today we are going to be doing a track-by-track album review of this album, OK Computer, by the band Radiohead. Now, this is our second Radiohead album that we've done on the channel. The first one was Kid A, which was a first for me. I had never heard that album. And believe it or not, folks, I've actually never listened to this full album before doing this episode. I have listened to a couple songs before. I won't say I haven't, but I haven't sat down and listened to the full album. And the songs I have heard were so long ago that it was almost like hearing them for the first time again, to be honest with you. When I heard them, I was like, okay, I remember some of this, but not too much. So yeah, Mark, so I was excited to do this one. You know why? Because The Bends is one of my favorite albums of the 90s. You know, I have my 90s all-time favorite albums. You know, we've talked about some of the channel, like Siamese Dream and Melancholy and those albums. And for me, The Bends is up there as like in the, you know, top 10 for me, 90s albums. So I was like, okay, Mark, you swear by this album. You think it's better than The Bends, maybe the best, you know, Radiohead album and one of the best albums of the 90s. And I was like, if not the best, you know. So I'm like, okay, I'm excited, you know. I want to get into it. So I went from never listening to it to listening to it about 6 times in the last week or so. And I listened to it on vinyl a few times, about 2.5 times on vinyl, and the rest through streaming. So I've heard it both ways. Okay. Yeah, Mark, I'm ready to get into it. Before we start, anything you want to say?
Could just do a little background on the album if you'd like
Sure.
me to.
No, please go ahead.
So this album came about after obviously the Bends, which was like extremely successful. They wanted to kind of do, you know, they didn't want to make the Bends too, you know, which most bands don't really want to do. Even though it has like some comparisons to the Bends, like with certain songs. So what they did was they basically rented this giant like mansion in the country, and like partially recorded there, and then they partially recorded some stuff in the studios. But they like recorded songs in like certain parts of the house with like certain different acoustics, which is like really cool.
Okay.
So I think for the song, let me see. I think for the song "Let Down," they filmed or they recorded it in like an empty ballroom in the middle of the night.
Okay.
And then I think for like, I think it was No Surprises or Lucky, they recorded on like a stone staircase, which is really cool.
Okay.
So yeah, they were just trying to get some like unique sounds on this album, which they definitely did. I mean, the recording on this album is excellent. Nigel Godrich, who's like their 6th member, like the Beatles, you know. So yeah, so I think this was, you know, they also wanted to incorporate a lot of like what they were listening to at the time, which was like, you know, I don't really hear it on the album, but like Miles Davis, I guess there's like some jazzy parts to this album. Obviously REM, the Beatles, but also one of my favorite bands of all time, Can, which is a German krautrock band whom I absolutely love. But that's another day and another video. So
Okay.
so yeah, like this is just a culmination of like their musical interests and what they were listening to at the time. And then after they made this album and they toured, they all got burnt out and they made Kid A, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, the world's ending," you know.
Right.
So I just want to preface this by saying, personally, Kid A is my favorite. That may change over time, but this is their best album, and I don't know if it's even arguable, honestly.
Okay.
I think this is their magnum opus. So.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into it then. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you. The way we do this is it is one of us or both of us hasn't heard it before, and in this case, it's me. And instead of just doing a pure reaction to it, I listen to the vinyl typically, take notes. I have extensive notes, listen to it a bunch of times. And so I really absorb it. And the reason for that is because we want to take it serious. In fact, if I listen to an album on this show, Mark, it's because I potentially want to listen to it for the rest of my life. And I know that doing reaction videos is not the same thing as that. So I'm excited to talk about, is this one that I'll be listening to for the rest of my life? We'll see. So I'm going to play a clip from Airbag. Here we go. So since it's my first time, I'm going to go first. So the first thing I thought of when I heard this song, Mark, is I said, oh, believe it or not, Dream Theater heavily was influenced by this song. There's a song on 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence called Misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
And there's quite a few parts of that song that reminds me of this song, actually.
I believe it.
And that's a good thing, actually. In fact, we did that episode where we were talking about influences, and they had the album.
Oh yeah,
there.
oh yeah. And that was free. That was pre Kid A too. So
yeah, yeah. So that okay. That's just the first thing that came out of my mind. As far as the song goes, Mark, amazing song, just an amazing song. From what I read, that the drums are the real drummer, but like chopped up and looped. So
yeah,
it's like kind of like you would have a James Brown drum sample, but then loop it like a hip hop does, But they just did that with the real, they recorded it themselves. And I thought you didn't hear much. Like this came out 96, right?
7.
So 97, okay. So 90 was probably written probably 96, 97, and I would say it was probably pretty groundbreaking at the time for rock music to have that. And then after that, nu metal became popular, which had more like hip hop style beats and stuff like that. So it was almost like a precursor to some of that stuff.
Right.
Not that this is nu metal, but the idea of taking some hip hop ideas, right, breakbeat styles, looping that, using it for a rock song, you can hear it here. The bass, though, the bass guitar in this song it's just awesome. It's just really groovy, really funky. The way that the string melodies are in this song, incredible. The vocals, the lyrics. I was trying to get into not get into it, but I was trying to kind of analyze them. And apparently, this was inspired by a near fatal car accident where an airbag saved Tom York's life. Apparently, and so I was trying to see, because the music is weird because it kind of has a happy and sad vibe to it at the same time, which makes it a very interesting song, because it's not just that the music sounds happy and the lyrics are sad or vice versa. It's literally like the music sounds both happy and sad at the same time.
It does.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, and you don't really hear songs like that. And there's some, there's lyrics like "I'm born again," right? And so it seems like maybe, I don't know. What I was getting out of it is maybe you have a near-death experience and you're like, feel like you're reborn, that you have a new lease on life and you appreciate it, something like that.
Yeah, sure.
But it does sound kind of melancholy and a little bit sad, but happy at the same time. So I thought this song was great. And in fact, quite frankly, it took me 3 listens to really appreciate this song fully, I would say.
Okay.
I liked it on the first listen. Don't get me wrong. I thought, oh, it's a good song, right away. But on the third listen, I was like, oh wow, this song is brilliant, because I was just listening. I just heard more and more things,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hence why we don't do just reaction videos to all these album reviews. So yeah, Mark, what do you think about this song?
All right, I just want to touch on some of the stuff that you said. I think Colin
Yeah.
Greenwood is a very underrated bassist. I'm glad that you
Mm-hmm.
brought that up.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Greenwood is always the one that's always talked about because, he's multi-instrumentalist, he's, an awesome guitar, he's a composer. Colin Greenwood's bass lines on this album are pretty phenomenal, I have to say
Mm-hmm.
though, and I like that he gets more attention. So, um, something else I wanted to elaborate on is so while I do like this song a lot, I
Mm-hmm.
actually think it might be one of their weaker album openers because they have, I mean, Radiohead is like known for having like awesome album openers. Like they have
Mm-hmm.
Planetalics
Yeah.
on the
Sounds great.
Bends.
Yeah.
They have Everything in Its Right Place on Kid A.
Mm-hmm.
You never Amnesia. I mean, Polk Pour Revolving Doors. People don't really like that song. Or Pack
Mm-hmm.
Like Sardines in a Crushed Tin Box. I love that song. People don't really like that. But then on In Rainbows, you have 15 Step. You have, oh my God, 2 + 2 = 5 on Hail to the Thief. Oh, Burn the Witch on Moonshaped Wolf. But long story short is
Right.
I like this song a lot, but I think it's actually one of their worst album openers.
Wow.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
I don't think no, that doesn't mean that I don't love the song because I do love the
Okay.
song a lot. I
Okay.
just think
Okay.
that like um Radiohead is like notorious for having great album openers and closers, which I'll elaborate on again later. So but yeah, I think this song's awesome and it's a great album opener. It's like rocking too, and it
Mm-hmm.
has like great guitar work. Um yeah, man, this is a great way to start the album. I there's just so many good songs in this album. It's just like nitpicking basically. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Sure.
and yeah, I think you're right on the vocals. While a lot of the vocals on this album, Tom York has said are kind of just like, I don't know if he called them rubbish or they just like nonsense. This song definitely could be, the way you said it, I definitely could see that being a possibility. Having a new
Okay.
lease on life, like back to save the universe from an interstellar explosion, which is is ridiculous, but.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, just phenomenal start, and it's only gonna get better from here. So,
All right. Mark, as you know, I love the Bends. And I would put this song right up there with Planet Telex as an opener. I think it's great.
I love Planetelics. That's like one of my favorite songs in the Bends.
Okay. Well, me
Um,
too. I love the song too. I just think maybe I like the song more than you as well. So
hey, man, that's totally fair. That's why we do these videos, man.
right.
I love to hear what
Yeah.
songs are your favorites, and hopefully you like to hear which ones are mine. So,
I do, yeah. All right. I think you might be shocked at one of my all-time favorites on this record. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm
no, I don't think
curious.
I will.
Okay.
I think I
Okay.
have an
All right.
idea.
All right. The next song is Paranoid Android. This song is like almost 3 songs in one. So I'm not even sure what to play from this, but I
Hmm.
guess I'll just play from the beginning a little bit. But
Yeah, and then I would play like the ending too, because
okay.
it's just a powerful ending. Maybe the bridge too.
Okay. The whole song.
Yeah, just play the whole song. Have you ever seen the music video for this?
Nope.
I'll watch it sometime. Yeah.
Please could you stop the noise? I'm trying to get somewhere. From all the unknown chicken voices in my head.
bridge is pretty long. Right there's you go, yeah, right a little bit further. There.
Those were about 3 clips from Paranoid Android. Where do I start with this song? As I said earlier, it's kind of like 3 songs in one. It is weird in a sense of, Radiohead is an 90s alt rock band, basically. Now they're not in the 90s, but that's when they were most famous. And it's kind of like a prog song in a way.
It is a prog song, whether they like it or not.
It's
It
like a prog
is.
rock song.
It's 100%
yeah.
is.
Yeah, it is a prog. It's got multiple changes. It's got odd time signature in it. It's got
7/8, I believe, right?
Yeah, 7/8 in it. It's got, and then it does switches back and forth on time signatures. It's got multiple parts to it that change. It's got guitar solos. It's got a lot of the prog staples.
Yep.
So it's like a 90s alt rock prog song. It's kind of what it is, which is very cool. It's not something you hear that often or hardly ever, really. And yeah, I mean, where should I start with the music? I mean, yeah, musically, Mark, it's in 7/8, some of the groove, right? And then it's straight the rest of the groove. It is obviously a very good song. I'm not going to deny that. It's a rockin' song. It's got the great guitar solo. It's got that great ending. The acoustic guitar is great. And what's one of the things that, for me was a little bit interesting is the lyrics to this song. So I was looking it up, and there's a lyric that says, Gucci little piggy. It's one of the lyrics. Okay. and what I was, there's a little, in some of my research, it says, York actually wrote the song after an unsettling experience in an LA bar. He witnessed a woman having a terrifying, violent outburst after a drink spill, an incident that clearly fed the song's vision of societal breakdown. So and when he calls her a Gucci little piggy, I think maybe he's talking about like just people's obsession with, in modern culture with materialism. And when it says like, I was trying to get, what does the title of the song mean, and maybe I don't fully know. And I think there's a mellotron in this song, right? Too. I think so. I think I was hearing that too. Maybe it's, Paranoid Android. You tell me what you think, Mark, because you've heard this so many times, not me, but maybe it's about the consumerism plus technology, which leads to which we're seeing right now, like hyper capitalism, and which can lead to, when not checked, right, when people are just taking that to extreme, it can lead to extreme consumerism and poverty for some people, but also extreme wealth for others. And maybe that's something like, maybe he's writing a song about that, or I don't know. That's what I was getting out of it. But the whole line about Gucci little piggy stood out to me. And when I heard the story about this woman in the bar that he observed, I said, okay, maybe he's thinking about that. But I don't know. What did you think about this song, Mark?
Well, did you like the song, Troy?
Yeah, it sounds very good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to cover on this song. Let me just start by saying, number one, this was the first single on the album. This was a single. A 6.5-minute song was a single.
With an odd time signature in it too, yeah.
With an odd time signature in it that has like 3 different parts and a super long bridge, and it's just a chaos. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. So the title of the song is from a character from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which I've never read, never seen the movie. Character's name is Marvin the Paranoid Android. I don't know if that
I
has
see.
anything to do with the song or not,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think that these lyrics are, kind of just like he's writing it as he goes along. I
Mm.
didn't know that about the woman having an outburst though. That makes a lot of sense actually now that you say that. Um, yeah, like Gucci little piggy. He was actually quoted saying that he was so freaked out he couldn't sleep. So like
Mm.
I don't know how terrible that could have been, but it must have been pretty bad.
Right.
Um, so this song is a progressive rock song,
Mhm.
no matter what way you look at it, with other varying degrees of genres like art rock and stuff. Um, Radiohead has come out and said multiple times that they do not like progressive rock and they don't want to be associated with progressive rock. So that's
Okay.
too bad because this is a progressive rock song.
Mhm.
I don't care. I don't care what they say. Um, this is something that could be on like a King Crimson album, honestly. Um, this song, is it their magnum opus? Probably. Not particularly. Well, it's not my favorite overall. It's in my top 10, but
Okay.
uh, I think if you got rid of their entire discography and this is all that was left, I think I'd be all right with that. And I think I would agree that this is like their Bohemian Rhapsody, I think.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the song they'll be remembered for forever. Not Creep, not,
Okay.
not fake plastic trees. I think it'll be the. Are you laughing at me? I'm gonna kick your ass.
No, I'm not
I
laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
I think that
Yeah.
this is their greatest song. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I do think it's the one that's gonna go down that they're gonna be remembered for forever. That's just my opinion, and I don't know if anybody else agrees with me, but it's just a legendary song that'll never be replicated. So
Okay. All right. I will. For me, I haven't. To be honest with you, only listening to it 6 times is really not enough to. I don't
true,
think
I've
it's
listened
enough.
to this song probably like over 50 times in my life, and it's still not enough. So
No, what I mean is, it's not enough to fully appreciate it
well,
as.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean too.
Oh
It's just
yeah, yeah. So, because for example, the songs like the Bends, those songs I've heard, hundreds of times. You know what I mean? So I'm just so
Mhm.
familiar with it. So for this album, here's what I'm gonna do, Mark. I think I'm gonna promise you this. I'm gonna
Okay.
keep listening to it because I do really like the album. By the way, I'm gonna keep listening to it, and then after maybe a month, okay, of like listening to it off and on, putting it on once in a while, coming back to it, we'll do the tier list, the Bends versus OK Computer. How about that episode?
Oh,
Okay, but
okay.
I need more time to digest it to
Oh,
be
you
able to
want to
do
do the
that
Benz
ranking.
versus OK Computer, not the Ben or OK Computer versus Kid A, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
We can do all three in one episode if you want.
That sounds good.
Okay, all right. Okay, so the next song is "Subterranean, Homesick, Alien." Okay, what a title.
It's actually a play on a Bob Dylan song.
Okay.
The breath of the morning, I keep forgetting the smell of the warm summer air. I live in a town where you can't smell a thing. You watch your feet for cracks in the pavement. Up above, aliens hover, making home movies for the folks back home. Of all these weird creatures who lock up their spirits, draw holes in themselves, and live for the secrets.
halfway through the song. So this is Subterranean, Homesick, Alien. I really like this song, Mark.
Okay.
On first listen, I was like, oh, yeah, this song's great.
It stuck with you first listen.
Yeah. This is one of the
Good.
ones that stuck with me right away. It was two that stood out to me right away on the album, even on first listen. Maybe
Okay.
three that I was like, oh, okay, I don't even need more listens for this one. This was one of them.
Nice.
Oh man, when you listen to this with headphones on, like especially good headphones, it's like
Oh yeah.
it
Oh, yeah.
sounds so freaking good, man. In fact, we did that 311 episodes from Grassroots. Remember I told you about that album Transistor, which came out in 97?
Yeah.
I totally hear this influenced that 311 record because there's multiple songs that have a similar sound to this song actually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Sonically, yeah, a little bit, yeah. It's like spacey and kind of out there, and they're doing a
Yeah.
little bit of that, and so yeah.
Nice.
This song, I think this song is great, and musically, it's a beautiful song. I can hear maybe some of the Miles Davis type of maybe vibe. I don't know, because you mentioned that. I don't know if maybe I'm trying to think of what songs would be. But that's one thing. And I thought the lyrics are pretty clever. From what I get out of it, Mark, it's like maybe talking about wanting to be abducted by aliens because you just want to get out of there. You just want to escape,
Yeah.
like
There's
wishing.
a couple songs. There's a
Yeah.
couple songs on this album that I think the lyrical themes are like either social isolation or just wanting to get away from society, and this is definitely one of them, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, there's like a Fender Rhodes style keyboard, right? A piano in there. I love that, man. It sounds so good. The spacey atmosphere, the chorus is kind of short. The little uptight part is not much to it, but when it comes in, that chord progression changes. So nice. Yeah, for me, this is a great song on the album. So far, the album is 3 for 3 as far as like every song being very strong.
Okay.
What did you think of this one?
Yeah, it's another great one.
Yeah.
There's no skip. There's one track that I skip on this album, but it's not even really a real song. But there's really
think I
no.
know which one that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no skippable tracks in this album. And yes, when you talk about Miles Davis, I think
Mhm.
the song is Pharaoh's Dance on Bitches Brew. I think they wanted to emulate that on this track, so like it sounds pretty similar. Yeah, and the title of the song it's referencing Subterranean Homesick Blues by Bob Dylan, which I don't think
Okay.
it has nothing to do with that song. I think it's just the name.
I see.
Yeah, but this track is just lovely, man. It's just it's the lyrics are cheeky and it's just like a nice little like chill out track. Especially after Paranoid Android, which is just like an amalgamation of chaos, pretty much. So yeah, I like this track a lot. This is one that I come back to too. Like first three tracks are just really strong, and then it just stays strong throughout the whole album. I have no bad things to say about anything here. So
Okay. All right.
So-
Cool. The next one is Exit Music for a Film. Go from that one.
Wake from your sleep, the drying of your tears. Today we escape, we escape. Pack and get dressed before your father
3 minutes and 15 seconds.
Let you choke. Let you choke.
All right, Mark. That was a couple clips from Exit Music for a Film. All right, my thoughts about this song, Mark. Well, in my research, I found out this was written for the Romeo and Juliet movie in the 90s, the one with, I think that's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio, if I'm not mistaken. Claire
It
Danes,
is.
right?
It is. It is.
Classic. If you were a teenager in the 90s like me, everyone watched that movie in the 90s. Yeah, Mark. I mean, what can you say about this song? Where should I start? One, you got to be in the mood for it. I'll say that. If you're in like a happy mood, it's just not one that you just want to put on right away. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you're in the mood for it, it's a really a fantastic. It is a. If you played this song, like, and you said, "Oh yeah, this is Radiohead," and I'm about like, "Yeah, of course it's Radiohead. It sounds like Radiohead." I mean, it sounds like, some of the slower, more ballady Radiohead type songs on other records too. It's got that kind of sound, and it's really fantastic. Obviously, the ending is just incredible, like we just played. It kind of builds and builds into crescendo at the end. And from what I was getting out of it, Mark, lyrically, at the end of Romeo and Juliet in the story, obviously there's a double unaliving, right? Is that the right way to say it? And I think this song is talking, even though it sounds so sad and depressing, I think it's talking about that in this song, they actually flee. They actually don't do it. So, in fact, yeah, if you look into the lyrics, I was reading the lyrics and I was like, oh, actually at the end, I don't think they actually go through with it. I think they run away together.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought that was a clever way. It's almost like he's writing his own ending to the movie, with this song. I mean, a brilliant song. What a song to put. What is this? The fourth track on the album?
Yeah.
To put as the fourth track on the album after you go from, the album has such a nice flow to it, right? And so this is, it's obviously a brilliant song, Mark. I mean, it's obviously a song. It's like anything. Like, to me, Fake Plastic Trees, if I'm in the happiest mood, I'm not going to listen to Fake Plastic Trees. Right? I got to be in the mood. It's the same thing as this song. You know what I mean? But when you're in the mood for it, it's like perfect, So, well, what did you think about this one?
Yeah, it's one of their most beautiful songs, I think.
Yeah.
The fact that they wrote it for the ending credits of a movie is like beyond me too. It's just like I couldn't imagine like being in the theater, seeing that movie and hearing that in the credits, and just like you watch this like dreadfully like depressing movie, and then you hear this in the credits, and you're probably moved to tears again. You're just like, what is this? Like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, just that ending is just like with the fuzz bass and like his unbelievably like emotional lyrics at the end. It's just like it gets me every time.
Yeah,
I think
this is one of the ones that kind of got me a little bit emotional listening to it. It was.
Yeah, if I had to make like a top 5 tearjerker Radiohead songs, and trust me, there's plenty of them. I think this would probably be in there for me. It's so beautiful and just it's such a great song. And you're right, the flow is great, the placement is great. Yeah, I just like the build up of the song is just Another progressive rock thing. But yeah, this obviously the song's not progressive at all, but
Right.
it's just like the build up is just tremendous, and I'll never get over that ending and just how great it is. And yeah, it's a top song for sure. Some people swear this is their best song too. While I may not agree with that, I do think it is, top tier for sure. So
I could see why somebody would argue. I mean, for me, it's not my favorite Radiohead song, but I can. If you made the
yeah.
argument for me, I wouldn't. I could see it.
Oh, I
For
did want to
sure.
make a
Yeah.
side note that this song was actually covered by Kelly Clarkson, which is I'd actually like to hear that because that
Me
would be
too. I got
interesting.
to go back and hear that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too. And also they wanted to emulate the sound of Portishead, which we did a video on in this song. So
I can hear that. I can hear the influence
yeah, with
there.
the
Yeah.
fuzz bass, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Cool. The next one is Let Down.
Speaking of tearjerkers.
That's a clip from Let Down. So I don't know if this is going to be a shocker for you, but on first listen, I think this might be my favorite song on the record.
Guess what, Troy? Not a
Yeah.
shocker because it's also my favorite song on the album.
Okay. Okay. I guess we have similar taste.
That could
Yeah.
change day to day, but today, yeah.
Yeah. I
Go
mean,
ahead, you talk.
I mean, that was on first listen. On subsequent listens, it's one of my favorites. It's hard to say which one is my favorite at this point, but it's top 3, top 2, something like that.
Yeah.
And maybe my favorite. Is there any more 90s? Can it get any more 90s than this is what I'm going to say. I mean, between the kind of dream poppy, shoegazy feel that it has to it.
Yeah, the ending of the song too, man. Like it's
Yeah.
so 90s.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
should
crazy.
play the end with the sound effects, like it sounds like
Oh.
twinkling. It's so 90s. It's just so good. Right here.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it, Mark. It's probably my favorite song on the album still. Not only is the music very 90s, but the lyrical content, well, the 90s was a lot about being depressed, so it's a lot of depressing music in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And this just fits right in there, it's just subject matter wise. Yeah, I've heard people complain about that, and I can see why, because it could be a bit much. Like every freaking band is talking about being depressed. I understand that. But if you want to listen to a song like that, this is your song. You know what I mean? It's fun. Yeah, this song is fantastic. Yeah.
You know what's funny, Troy, that you say
Yeah.
that? This isn't even like considered like one of their most depressing songs.
Yeah, I know. It's just so. When I was listening to it, I'm like, I'm let down and hanging around. I'm crushed like a bug on the ground. I'm just, it's just like, oh man, it just sounds like a very 90s lyrics.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of these things where, I don't know. It's amazing to me that, we'll talk about this song, but this type of music, like this album and other songs like it, other albums like it, when it comes to the depressing sound and the kind of shoegazy sounds and all that, that it was like literally popular music, Now you kind of have to go out of your way to find new music that has this kind of vibe to it, Like it's some niche band that it's like whatever, It's like, but this was like a number one record probably or whatever when it came out. You know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of just what happened. I don't know, but I don't know if, I'm trying to think about it. Imagine this was on the radio in the 90s. People would have been like, oh, hell yeah, But if you put it on the radio now as like a new song, people would be like, what is this depressing music? You know what I mean? Like, it is a weird, I don't want to digress too much. Maybe I'm just complimenting the ability to write deep, like, not that the lyrics are super deep, but when I mean deep, I mean emotionally deep. Like, you're writing songs about your feelings. It's not just about partying and about, the girl broke up with you song. And it's musically brilliant and, and it was popular. People loved it, and I wish that would come back somehow. I don't know. I don't think maybe things are cyclical. Maybe it will, but for now, we're not there. The point is, Mark, it's probably my favorite song on the album.
I'm right there with you, man.
Tell me why. Tell me why it's your favorite.
So I want to say a few things because like this is probably my favorite song. So I want to,
Yeah, please go ahead.
I want to elaborate on your talking about, depressing songs making a comeback. This album, the lyrical themes were not really something that were tackled at the time. Like you have like dystopian society, could like over rampant consumerism, capitalism, alienation from society. Like there's a song on here that's just a straight up political song. There's no like love songs or anything really on this album, It's kind of just like it's more like in depth and vivid and more like morose subject matter, which is not really something even in the 90s that you saw as much. Like it's usually love songs or just nonsense or something, but
right.
Yeah, especially in like a song like this, like when you're younger you don't really think of like this album came out when I was 9, so I didn't listen to this obviously when it first came out, so I was older, in my teens when I listened to this. But you look at the lyrics and the song's called Let Down. I mean, like it's got to be depressing. Like you can't name the song Let Down and have it not be depressing.
Right.
Like it is depressing, but it's also like I think very uplifting in a way. I think the way you described Airbag is the way I would describe this song.
Okay.
It's depressing, but it's also somewhat uplifting at the same time, I think. Like lyrically, maybe not so, but like musically, I think like at least with like his guitar tone is definitely morose sounding, but it's also like I don't know. I maybe I'm not making sense here. But one thing I would like to point out is this was supposed to be the first single on the album, but they switched it because the music video turned out like not to their liking. So it would have been interesting to see if this was the first single on the album, how much different it would have been. And one more point I want to make is that this song, they never played this song live for like the longest time. But then when I saw them in 2018, they played it live, and I was just beside myself because I was so excited. And then they played Everything in Its Right Place right after this, so it was like a double whammy.
Amazing.
It was like a double punch in the stomach whammy. It was great.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite Radiohead songs, probably my favorite on the album. That could change, but as of right now, yeah, this is a song I come back to the most, man.
Okay. Yeah, this is a song which, for me, Mark, yeah, it's a 10 out of a 10 song. 10 out of a 10 song, yeah,
For sure.
I wouldn't change anything. Great song. All right, the next one is Karma Place. This is a song that I had heard before, but
This is the biggest song on the album.
It had been a long time since I heard it, so I've kind of
Actually,
yeah.
second biggest song on the album.
Okay.
I don't know. You heard the other single on this album, didn't you?
Wasn't Paranoid Android the other single?
There's four. The big ones though. No surprises. You've had to have heard that before.
No.
Really?
Well, maybe, but I just didn't remember it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Let's play a clip from this one. This is what you'll get when you mess with us. All right, Mark, that was a clip from Karma Police. My review of this song, again, this was a song I had heard before, but I kind of went into it with fresh ears, like just, okay, forget I heard it. Let me just try to listen to it for the first time. And one of the things that stood out to me is how good the piano line is in this song. You know, the piano chords are playing. You know, for me, what's fascinating about it is I think this is a very good song. Don't get me wrong. It is a very good song. But it's not like even top 3 on the record for me. It's a good song. I would listen to it anytime. I wouldn't skip it, you know. But it's like, the reason I'm bringing that up, not that it has to be top 3 for me, but it's because it's like one of the biggest singles, you know. And I've found that sometimes I'm not like, I like the singles to albums, but I usually like the album tracks more. Yeah. So for me, I could see why it's a single, you know, it's catchy. One of the things I really did like about it is the acoustic guitar is great, the piano is great, all the bass playing, all the instruments are, you know, is great. But the lyrics are very interesting to me. There's a line about Hitler hairdo.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna
makes
say
him
that,
feel ill. And what I think is interesting about this is it's kind of a mature song in a way, because in the verses, it seems like he's talking about blaming other people, right? Pointing your finger at other people, you know, and saying, "Oh, you're gonna get what's coming to you because look how bad you are, or look how stupid you look, or whatever," right? With your hairdo, but like, and then you know, and then he says, like, he repeats this thing where he says, I have a note here. It says, "For a minute there, I lost myself. I lost myself." So it's kind of saying like, maybe putting himself back on himself and saying, "Hey, you know, I'm in the same boat in a way, you know, like somebody would say the same thing about me." So I thought it was like he flips it back to himself. So instead of just making about this is what you get, you know, when you mess with us, that's like, and I think, Mark, I can't think of a time in history that is more relevant right now than that. So right now, with what's going on politically, at least in the U.S., there's a super heightened sense of blame and like an us versus them mentality, you know, from all sides. And it doesn't seem like anybody ever stops to reflect on anything they ever do wrong, or any any. It's always about the other person, you know. And I can understand that it's human nature, and maybe that's what the song is talking about. You know, maybe there's like just a human nature to do that, and then but I think the maturity is thinking about your own self and that you might not be any better than some of the people that you think in the karma police are going to come get. Maybe you have done bad things or whatever, you know. So anyway, what do you think about this song, Mark?
Yeah, I can relate with you about, you know, it not being a top out song on the album just because it's a single. I understand why it's a single.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely it definitely has the you know the capabilities of being a single.
Mm-hmm.
That being said though, I still think it's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Definitely,
got
yeah.
they do a lot of cool stuff. Like they do like the part where he's like, you know, for a minute. Like I really like that part a lot. I think
Mm-hmm.
his
Yeah,
vocals are
that's
really
great.
cool.
Yeah.
They have like a nice like reverb effect in the end, like and it like Ed O'Brien like does like a delay effect at the end where it almost sounds like melting, which is pretty cool. I always like that.
Mm-hmm.
It has a cool music video too. Um, to talk back again when I saw them live in 2018, they closed with this actually, which is not really that surprising because I would say that I mean, what would you say is Radiohead's biggest song? Creep, and then
Yeah.
probably this, maybe this after. I don't know.
Creep. Yeah, probably this. Yeah.
I would say this, yeah. So I mean, obviously, I don't think they're gonna play Creep anymore live. So,
But they
um,
don't. I didn't know that.
I don't know. They didn't when I saw
Okay.
them. I don't
Okay.
think they really like Pablo Honey as a band.
Mm.
Um, I don't really care for it too much either. I did want to go back and re-listen to it again, but yeah, this song is fine. I agree. It's definitely not my top three on the album for sure. Um, it's not even my favorite single. I think we'll get to that later, but
Okay.
I think it's a cool song. I like the lyrics. The lyrics are cool. Like anything that's you know, anti-capitalism, I'm totally on board with. So, um,
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
yeah. So yeah, cool song. Cool song.
All right. Um, Interesting that they don't play Creep. I mean, that is their biggest song. That would be like Metallica not playing Enter Sandman. You know, it would be like the
Yeah,
equivalent.
I think it's just a matter of the fact that they just don't. That's not what they sound like anymore, and they don't want to play that. So
You know, it's true. Is
their
that what
their set
Metallica
list,
sounds like, though?
their set list when I saw them was unbelievable. Though they played
Oh
exit
yeah.
music for a film. They played that as part of their first encore. Man, it was
Oh wow.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome. Oh,
and
I
their
would
second
imagine.
encore,
Yeah.
their
That's
second
good.
encore, they played the Bends. So
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'll
awesome.
send you the set list. The set list is
Did
amazing.
they play Fake Plastic Trees?
I don't think so.
Oh man, that's one of my
They didn't want the
favorites.
whole crowd crying, I guess.
Okay. All right. What's funny about that, Mark, and we'll move on to the next song, but Creep, I mean, I know it's on Pablo Honey, but that song is like a masterpiece of a song. That song is brilliant, I think. That song's great. I mean, I
Yeah,
know it's played out, but it is a great song. I
I
mean,
just I don't think they like it or that
hmm,
album, and then I think they refuse to play it. So
okay.
hey, they're big enough where they can do whatever they want. So
You know, Prince covered that song at Coachella one time.
did he really?
Yes, he did. Yeah, true story.
Prince is a Radiohead fan. That doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me
apparently.
because I know for a fact that
Yeah.
Radiohead are Prince fans. So
He also did a really good cover on Emancipation album of is it Joan Osborne's One of Us?
okay, yeah,
What if God? He did a
right,
really
yeah.
good cover of that on his triple album he put in the '90s. Anyway,
So
side
just
notes, yeah.
before we move on, I watched a video of Steven Wilson's podcast earlier today,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and he was talking about Around the World in a Day, and he said that's one of his favorite Prince albums.
So you gotta go back and listen to it. Is what you're saying. You know what?
Well, he's a big psychedelic guy, and that's like Prince's psychedelic album. So
You know what's funny, Mark, is that's not one of my favorite Prince albums, and because of that, because you said the same thing, now I want to go back and listen to it. So
I
we
know,
should do
me
an
too.
episode about it, actually. Yeah, and
Yeah, I
see
would.
if it's all right.
I remember not really caring too much about that album when I first listened to it, so I'd be down to
Mhm.
go back and listen
All
again.
right, all right. Well, let's make that one coming up. All right. So the next song is it's like an interlude. Fitter, happier. I
You
think
don't
I'm
have
just
to
gonna
play
skip
that.
it. All right.
Yeah, you don't. It's
Electioneering.
basically Microsoft Sam just saying a bunch of nonsense. That's all you need to know.
Right. Yeah. My review of this song. You know, this probably sounds a little bit more like something that would be on Pablo Honey, actually.
Or at least the Bends, yeah.
Yeah. If this song, okay, I'm gonna put it this way, Mark, because I've been raving about every song I've heard so far for the most part.
Yeah.
If this song was on the Bends, it would be one of the weakest songs on the Bends.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe the weakest, and I think it's maybe the weakest song on this record.
Really?
Yeah. That's my opinion of it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
It's not a bad song. It's not a bad song. There's no bad songs on the Bends, and there's no bad songs on this record either. So let me be clear about that. But the problem is, if this was on any other '90s rock record, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a good song. You know what I mean?
So you think Sulk is a better song than this?
I'm gonna have to go listen to it to compare.
Okay.
Just let me go listen and compare it. But yeah.
No, because I'm looking at the songs on the Bends and like these are all great, and I don't know. I'll let you finish. I'll stop interrupting.
Okay. So again, if it was on Pablo Honey, right, I'd be like, oh, this song is great, right? If it was on the Benzo, I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's a weaker song for that. And I feel the same way about this. Is it a bad song? No, it is a good song. But when you compare it to the songs we already heard previous to it, it's the problem with this song is not even the song itself. It's how good the album is.
Yeah.
So when sometimes you just have to deal with that when you're making an album that's brilliant. If not every song is a 10 out of 10, the one that's not a 10 is going to sound weak in comparison, So that is, to me, that's where this song comes in. Now, let me tell you what I do like about it, though. And what I do think, I mean, the music is good. Don't get me wrong. The guitar playing is good. It's a fun song. It's a rocking song. I kind of like where it's at in the album. It kind of shakes things up from a flow perspective.
Yeah.
But I did want to talk about the lyrics for a second, because when I read the lyrics, I got one thing out of it. And then I was looking into a little bit of research, and it looks like it's kind of a dual meaning to this song. So on one hand, he's talking about the absurdity of like campaigns. And because campaigns are totally ridiculous if you think about it, like you got, at least in the, I mean, these guys are not from the US, so I would imagine it's the same everywhere in the world pretty much. But it's like, at least in the US, I can't speak from my experience. You got two options pretty much, and it's whoever gets the most money spends the most money. And then they go around just promising everyone in the world to their base, or just the middle, people in the middle that are undecided always. And, they just say, oh, yeah, whatever they think is going to win them the election, they just say, right? And they may or may not do some of it, all of it, none of it in the office. And it's like complete joke pretty much for the most part. And it's just, and it's like a big circus, right? And then there's these, these dumbass debates, which are usually really stupid and full of just gotcha moments. That's what people talk about. There's no real substance to anything they're saying. And then whenever there is substance, nobody cares. The whole thing is a goddamn joke. So sorry about that. But that's what this song reminded me of. The second thing, Mark, is I was reading about this, and I just experienced it myself. And he said, I think this is from Tom York, that he was talking about this also kind of a metaphor here for the experience that they feel going around touring and actually doing meet and greets that feel insecure. So, insincere, excuse me. So, it's kind of like saying, imagine you're a band, right? Because I just dealt with this. I went to a meet and greet with Dream Theater, right? Imagine you're a band, and every show, you have to do the same thing. You have to sit down, you have to wait for people to come up to you, and you have to say, hi, I'm Troy. Nice to meet you. Sign my thing, right? Tell me your story for 30 seconds that you want to tell me. Okay, thank you, right? It seems like, no matter how nice you are about it, I would imagine after a while it gets boring. It's all I can tell you, right? I would imagine, you know what I mean? Like I could just imagine, right? Now I'm sure people get nervous around you. The whole thing's got to be super awkward, right? I got to be honest with you. So maybe, and I read that in the note that it was who was it? Ed O'Brien noted that the song was about that. So yeah, it's a cool song, Mark, but not one of my favorites on the record. What about you? What did you think about it?
I think this song, a lot of, I said before, I like to look and see like I like to look up people's like tier lists for stuff because I like to get myself amped up when I see something I don't disagree with.
Right.
But I don't actually, but I get, I like to see where people play stuff.
Hmm.
General consensus, I think, is this is the weakest song on the album by most people.
Okay.
I don't want to agree because I really like the song and I think it's a bit underrated. There's nothing crazy about it that makes it like stand out. I just really like the song. But I think I'm going to be honest with myself and probably say that it might be the weakest track on the album. Not
Right.
counting Fit or Happier. So,
Right. Sure.
um, although it's not my least favorite on the album, and when I say least favorite, I mean like these songs are like this close, like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
every song on here is good. Every song. But yeah, I think that this is I think I unfortunately agree that this is probably the weakest track. Still a great song, and I agree with you. If this was on Creep, it would be one of the best songs, or on Pablo Honey, it would be one of the like probably the best song on there,
Mm-hmm.
besides like Creep maybe.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's still a good track though. It's rocking. It's probably the one of the heavier tracks that they've ever written. It's got cowbell. I mean, come on, everybody likes cowbell. Um, yeah, and lyrically, I agree with you. It's just this whole album is just poking fun, and maybe not even poking fun, maybe just like a like just playing on like how the stupidity of society and campaigning and politics in general with the two party systems. Just because I know this album was written, I don't know if it was the whole album, but I think this is the time when Tony Blair was prime minister. And
Mm-hmm.
I think he was very generally disliked by all of England
Mm-hmm.
because he was part of like the New Labour movement. Um,
Let me ask you
so I
this,
think
Mark. Was he selling England by the pound?
probably
No, okay. I'm just curious
wouldn't
now.
surprise me. I don't know who the prime minister was when they wrote that album, but um,
Yeah.
yeah, I've generally conceived like that Tony Blair is a not very well liked by a lot of people,
Mm,
especially by England people of England.
I see.
Yeah, and they say, Tuesday, isn't it? And but anyway, yeah, I this song is I like it a lot. I like every
Okay.
song on this album. Um, but yeah, it's probably the weakest track.
Okay. Let's get to the next song, which I don't think by any stretch of the imagination is the weakest track, which is Climbing Up the Walls. Maybe that's a spoiler for what I think about it. Okay.
I am the key to the locked house that keeps you tied in the basement. And if you get too far inside, you'll only see a reflection. And so is most of the clouds out. I am the pick in the ice. Do not cry out below. You're not friends till we die. But either way you turn, I'll be there. Open up your skull, I'll be there. Clean up your
All right, Mark, that was a clip from Climbing Up the Wall. I know it kind of builds from there, but if I remember correctly, but yeah, not like a track that blows me away when it comes to like some of the other songs. What was the song? Let me look at the list real quick. Like, for example, Let It Down or, Exit Music and those songs. But man, this song, it reminded me of like a movie, you know? The
Yeah.
lyrics are pretty, just super creepy. It's kind of like about, maybe it's probably metaphorical, I'm guessing, but maybe it's like you can interpret it like a serial killer, maybe, or something's going on in someone's mind who's like
Mm.
violent or disturbed. You could also maybe interpret it as anxiety, or maybe as a metaphor there. I think to me, while nothing like spectacular as far as wow, this is just a banger song, you know what I mean? It's not like that, but it is like a creepy vibe song that I was just vibing out listening to it. A song I really liked. What'd you think about this one?
Yeah, this is another, really good song.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think it's on the level of like Let Down or Paranoid Android or Exit Music.
Mm-hmm.
I still think it's a really, really good song too. And lyrically, from what I've read in the past, I think it's a mix of you were right with serial killers, which makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. But it's also apparently Tom York worked as an orderly in a mental institution, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a policy called Care in the Community, which was like they were funding deinstitutionalizing mental health patients, which was like just beyond like bad because a lot of people need to be institutionalized.
Right. Right.
Um, I think it was a way to like cut costs, because having a
Mm.
mental institution is extremely expensive. So I think that that really like stuck with him. Um, and that would make sense given the lyrics too. Musically, I don't really think there's too much involved in this song. It's basically just like like an ethereal like just ethereal noises, and like the drums kind of sound like really echoey. And I agree that it kind of sounds like a soundtrack. Like if this was in the movie like Train Spotting or something, I would be like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It
Yeah.
sounds like it sounds really like dreary and like kind of like I don't want to say the word scummy. That's a terrible word, but kind of just
Right.
like, um, yeah, I think this song is good. I don't think it's one of the best on the album though, personally, but I do
Yeah.
like it a lot.
Yeah. I like it. Not
Like
one
I
of the
said
best, but I like it.
before,
Yeah.
no, yeah, I like I
Mm-hmm.
said before, every song on this album is A plus or higher. So
Mm-hmm. All right. Last thing I'll say about this song, Mark, is now that you just told me that story about his experience and what happened, man, it's really freaking depressing because,
yeah,
we had a recent story where here in the U.S., if you're not in the U.S., maybe you don't know the story, but there was a Ukrainian refugee girl who came over, maybe in her early 20s or something, and was murdered on a train, like a subway, I think, by somebody that didn't know her, didn't try to rob her, didn't try to, essay her or whatever, just literally stabbed her and walked away. It's like that person, maybe this is like what you told me about that story about people being deinstitutionalized, right? But let go
Mhm.
when they should and things like that. Like to me, that person should never be out in public,
I was
like
gonna say
interacting in the
that's
public. Yeah.
that's literally a perfect example of why we should have mental institutions again.
Right. Right. Exactly.
N-
Right.
Not to get
Yeah.
political here, but I
Yeah.
mean that I don't know I couldn't possibly think of something else that would be a better example of why we should have them. So,
Yeah. And also, by the way, that person was arrested and 14 times and
yep.
still walk the streets. Like
Yep.
now I'm just getting, I don't even know how that's a political statement. That's just insane. Like that people will let that happen. So the point is the song is creepy, but the song is good. And what the subject matter is creepy because it is real. I think that's why it's creepy. It's not just fiction.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's tough to listen to if you take it literally, though. So if you take it metaphorically, it's easier to listen to, I would say. And that's kind of
Hmm.
what I was doing when I was listening to it. But now that I'm telling the story out loud, I'm like, man, the song is even darker than I'm thinking. So yeah, okay. The next song is No Surprises. Oh yes, I lied, Mark. had
I was
heard
gonna
this one
say because
before.
this song I think is bigger than Karma Police, man.
Yeah, I've heard this song before, but again, I remember the melody, but the rest of the song not as much. So here we go.
A heart that's full up like a landfill, a job that slowly kills you, bruises that won't heal. You look so tired, happy, bring down the government. They don't speak for us. I'll take a quiet life, handshake of carbon monoxide, and no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no
All right, Mark.
surprises.
That was a clip from No Surprises. So that one I remember, but I think that I remember hearing it because of the melody is very catchy and familiar.
Mhm.
It does sound like it has a glockenspiel there.
It does, yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
which is cool. My review of this one, Mark, is it's interesting. Maybe I do like the song, by the way. The song is good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it is good. The lyrics are pretty sad and depressing. I will say that it's a depressing song.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things I do have to be in the mood to listen to. Similar to one of the other songs on the record, maybe a couple of songs on this record. But that being said, it's a song I liked. When I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh, it's a good song. But like for me, some of the other songs on this record, even the fact that this was a single, like definitely surpassed this song, how much I liked it personally. It's not one that I repeated like some of the other songs. But maybe I just need more time with it. And that's why I was saying that I'm definitely going to listen to this more over the next month before we revisit it again compare it to some of the other albums. But what did you think about this one?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I figured this would have been right up your alley because it's a very, upbeat, uplifting sounding song with like very, very dark, depressing lyrics.
You know what
Which
it
is
is, Mark? It
very
doesn't really
ABBA-like.
have the chorus. The chorus is not that strong in this song compared to some of the other songs.
Because
I
he's like
think
kind of mumbling a little bit.
yeah, it's kind of doesn't. It's kind of like similar thing over and over again, which is okay. Which I understand why he's doing it lyrically, and it goes with the theme of the lyrics in the song. But like, if this song had a really strong chorus, it'd probably be like for me top, top tier. But yeah, but it's a good song. Don't get me wrong, it is a good song. It's just not one
Yeah.
of my favorite songs ever.
I think between this and Karma Police, which are like the big singles off the album,
Mm-hmm.
I think Karma Police is probably the stronger song. This song is great. It has a great music video. I think maybe a lot of people are nostalgic for like the music video as well, and
Okay.
because it had a really good music video. The lyrics are just extremely depressing. I mean, they might be the most depressing lyrics of any Radiohead song. Basically, just alluding to like unaliving yourself in the
Right.
lyrics. I
Right.
mean, um, but the song itself is like you could like chop it up to almost like sounding like a freaking like Beach Boys song with like the chord
Mm.
progression.
Right. Right.
Um, so yeah, I not a bad song in this album. This is definitely not one of the ones like if I was making a Radiohead playlist, I don't think I would throw this in there.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
So, not saying that I don't like the song. I mean, the song has over 1 billion plays for God's sake on Spotify. So,
Sure.
is it is it worthy of being a single? Sure, I think it could appeal to a lot of people. Um, yeah, like I said though, it's just not really one that I come back to. Like, I would bet that like my sister-in-law, who's like absolutely loves this album. I'm sure this is like one of her favorites because it's very nostalgic for her. So
Okay. Sure. Makes sense. I think how it best sums it up, the first comment on this video, Mark, is this song is great for when you're feeling down and you want to feel infinitely worse.
yeah. It's so true, man. Like,
Yeah.
I remember the first time I listened to this song, I was like, wow, this song like sounds like not depressing. And then I looked at the lyrics and I was like, what?
Right.
I was like genuinely like, whoa.
Right.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
That's a very funny comment, and I'm
It
gonna
is a
like
funny
it.
comment.
Shout out to you if you're watching this video, Max. All right. Well, the next one is Lucky.
I'm on a roll this time. I feel my luck could change. Kill me, Sarah. Kill me again. 'Cause love is gonna be a glorious day. Pull me out of the air crash. Pull me out of the lake. 'Cause I'm your superhero. We're standing on the
Man, the bass work in this whole album is really good, but this song too. What's the bass player's name? I'm still pretty new.
Colin Greenwood.
Okay, Greenwood. Yeah.
He's the brother of the guitarist Johnny Greenwood.
Yes, gotcha. And Ed O'Brien.
Rhythm guitarist.
Yes, that's what I thought. Gotcha. Because I had the
And
name
Phil-
in front of me. I was like, okay,
Phil Selway is the drummer.
gotcha. All right, cool. Go ahead.
That wasn't
Oh, sorry.
good.
Okay. This one for me is a nice, how should I put it? After the last song we just heard, is a nice next song to play. Musically, though, it is super 90s to me. Like alt rock, sad rock. Although I don't even know if this song is sad, but it kind of sounds sad a little bit.
It's Radiohead. It's gonna be sad, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I did look at the lyrics. It's kind of funny. It's like it's talking about being lucky, but it's like, is it tongue in cheek? I don't know. It actually, I had a note here, Mark, that it was inspired by the Bosnian War, and it was and being part of a charity album called the War Child Project. And so there's like lyrics about surviving a airplane crash, and being pulled out of a lake. And so maybe it's talking about like through disaster, you can be lucky, something like that.
Yeah.
There's there seems to be at some points in the song, Mark, like more of like a waltz feel, like a 6/8 or a 3/4 time signature going on. Am I off on that? That's what I was hearing. But let me go back and listen real quick. Sorry, make sure that I'm. I was interpreting the swing there, and the chorus has 3, but I think it's straight. My bad. So yeah, I thought, Mark, this is like a little bit of a, how should I put it? I wouldn't call this shoegaze, but it's maybe a little. It is like looking at your shoes, you know. It's a little bit like I'm strumming the chords. I'm looking down and I'm
Looking at your shoes.
Yeah, so I'm gazing at my shoes while I'm playing this song. So for me, it does sound like that. Although it doesn't have like distorted guitar really, like a shoegaze does typically, but it has that jangly kind of feel to it.
The wow 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 wow.
Yeah. I really, to Mark, this is a song that coming from the last song, which I thought was good, but I didn't like. I like this song more than the last song. Give an example. So just to be honest with you, so I thought this was a good one. This is one I listened to multiple times. I thought it was a fun song in the sense of if you like shoegazy style music, you know you're gonna have fun with it.
Yeah.
The chorus is really good. The chorus and the melody is very strong. Melody in the chorus, excuse me, is very strong. So what did you think about this one?
So yeah, this is a song like back when I used to listen to this album that like I didn't really pay much attention to when I was younger. I didn't really actually honestly this and the next song, which we'll get into when we get there.
Okay.
Because like once I got to like No Surprises, I was like, I don't really like, I don't really need to hear the rest of the album. Like this is when I was like younger.
Yeah.
As time goes on though, I've come to really appreciate these 2 tracks a lot more. Especially the next one. But this track, like you said, is like, I mean, it's bordering on like space rock, even like Pink Floyd-esque, you know?
Yeah, I can hear that. Yep.
Yeah, like with like, with the guitar. I think there's 3 guitars on this song, if I read correctly. I think it has triple guitars. Yeah, like the jangly guitar with like the echo and like everything, and just yeah, it's got a very good chorus. Lyrically, I think that you could go either way on this one. You could say, talking about like surviving a plane crash or something. I don't really know how it alludes to the Bosnian War. I don't really understand the lyrics there, but yeah, I think this song is fine. This was also a single, I think, too. So, yeah, if you asked me how I felt about this song 10 years ago, I would have said, I don't really care too much. But
Okay.
as it is now, I do really enjoy this song. So
Yeah. For me, this obviously it's not like some of the other songs on the record, which I was like over the moon about. You know, that I think are like 10 out of 10s. To me, it's not like a 10 out of 10 song. You know, but it is a song I really liked, and it's more like an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? It's a good song.
sure, yeah.
That's how I would rank it. Some of these songs like this one, the last one, and what was the other one, Mark? The one that kind of sounds like Electioneering. They suffer from the other songs on the record being like perfect, you know? It's like because if those other songs weren't on the record, it was just these songs, you'd be like, oh wow, these songs are really good. You know what I mean? It's just they are good. It's just
when we eventually listen to No Rainbows, that kind of suffers from the same thing too. So
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, the last song on the record is look at video. Why Radiohead Hated Creep. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, I'll watch that later. So, The Tourist is the last song. one. That was a couple-minute clip of The Tourist. This song is beautiful. This song is beautiful. The song is brilliant, Mark. I can see why, if you on first listen or when you listen to it when you're younger, maybe it doesn't stand out to you as much. I'm not saying you personally, but anybody.
Yeah.
But this is one of these songs where if you really listen to what he's saying and the way he's saying it, and the music doesn't sound like a Radiohead song at all to me, really. It doesn't, compared to some of the other songs. It's like jazzy almost, you know? It's a little
Yeah. Yeah.
jazzy. It's a little bluesy. Maybe not bluesy, maybe, but still jazzy. And, you know, telling yourself to slow down. Maybe I think he's talking to himself there. And I think, Mark, this is a really beautiful way to end the album. I mean, is it like a banger song? No, you know what I mean? It's not like that. But it's not intended to be. It's a ballad for this type of music. But as you know, I'm keen to slower ballads, and as long as they're good. And to me, this is a good one. This and especially in the chorus, man, it sounds so like lush sounding and kind of full. And I think you know, I don't know how it's tough to rank it per se. I guess we'll do that if we do the tier list episode. But it reminded me a little bit at the beginning of some of the stuff on, believe it or not, Mark, when I first heard it, I was like, oh, it kind of has a little bit of Smashing Pumpkins feel at the very beginning with some of the guitars, you know? And immediately I like that. So I was like, okay, it's like, and then when they brought in the waltz feel, like the 6/8 feel, I was like, okay, it's different. But yeah, for me, this is one if you want to vibe out to. If you're in the mood for like just a vibe out to something and relax, whether you got your headphones on, whether you're listening to it in the background, whether you're listening to it, for me, I was listening to this very, how should I put it, actively, like not in the background, you know, like really listening to what he's talking about, the way he's singing it, trying to get in his mind, you know, trying to get the feeling. I really enjoyed it. What about you, Mark? What did you think?
Yeah, like I said during like, you know, talking about Lucky, this song over the years has really, really grown on me a lot more.
Yeah.
His vocal harmony in the chorus is like one of my favorite parts of like any Radiohead song.
I can see why. Yeah.
I put
It's
it right
good.
up there with How to Disappear Completely, like for vocal
Mm.
performances. I just think it's like hauntingly beautiful. I love it so much. I think it's a great song, and it really doesn't sound like a Radiohead song. It sounds closer to like a, I don't even know, like a Jeff Buckley song or something.
Yeah, I can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. It is like kind of bluesy too. Like
Hmm.
maybe that's why I didn't like it when I was younger, because it really doesn't sound like a Radiohead song. It doesn't.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, like I said though, like the lyrics too are just like just take it easy, like slow down, like why are you going
Hmm.
so fast? Like you're gonna miss everything.
Hmm.
And it's just like, you know, that's true, because I do rush through a lot of stuff a lot of the times, and it's just like, just take it easy. Um,
Right.
and
Sure.
like it's such a great closer too, because it's just like, it's just so great, and just like, you know, the rest of the album is so chaotic and fast, and this song is just like taking it easy, and it's just like, it wouldn't have fit anywhere else on the album, I think.
Yeah.
But like I said at the beginning of the video, Radiohead just, they have some of the best album closers I've ever heard for like a band before. I
Yeah.
mean, you have Street Spirit, you have
Yeah.
motion picture soundtrack on Kid A.
Hmm.
You got Life in a Glass House on Amnesiac. You got, oh my God, Videotape on In Rainbows. Oh God. Whew. Like every one of those songs is amazing. And it's just
Yeah.
that would be a video in itself to rank those. But yeah, like this is the perfect end to really, I think, is what is a perfect album. Um,
All
yeah,
right.
not really much else to say. I just kind of lost the words. I love this song. So
So, Mark, for me, this is an album where, well, speaking of 10 out of 10s, How to Disappear Completely is 10 out of 10. Like, for me, that song, I can't wait to do the tier list between these three albums. It's going to be interesting, a fun
How to
episode.
Disappear Completely is my favorite overall Radiohead song.
I can see why. Um, yeah, that's a masterpiece of a song. Like to me, The Tourist is a good song, but it's nowhere near that song. As far as like if you were to rank it, yeah, that song is incredible. Yeah, so Mark, for me, this is an album in which it's definitely one that has grown on me each listen. You know, from the initial set to listening to it more and more, and every Radiohead album I've ever listened to, that has happened. Because it is different. You know, they have their own sound. You know, they have their own sound. They have some musically, it's kind of in depth of what's going on, and production wise too, and lyrically, sometimes there's multiple meanings to things. So, I think, Mark, this is an album which I'm going to be listening to, you know, at least a few times a week for the next 4 weeks or so. I'm going to keep going back to it. I'm probably going to listen to the vinyl again this week, because I want to. Like I'm like, okay, I know the songs are great. It's just a matter of repetition in your brain. You know what I mean? Because the bends, I've had so much repetition on that I know every song. Like as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds awesome. You know? So, but that only comes with repeated listens, that kind of, you know, knowledge about the songs. So I'm going to do that, Mark, is what I'm saying. I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to do the same thing for Kid A. I'm going to give that more listens. And then we should do the Kid A versus, you know, these 3 albums. Yeah.
So out of the 3 you've heard, where would you stick this one right now?
Albums?
Did you like this more than Kid A?
Let me think about that question.
And did you like either of these more than the Benz? I know the Benz is nostalgic for you, so.
In order for me to compare either of those 2 albums to the Benz, I'm going to have to listen to them more.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying give me a few weeks. At least. Okay.
Sure.
It's hard to compare it because if I were to rank it, I'd say, oh no, the Ben's the best. Because I've heard it so much, it's so nostalgic for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I need like some more time to digest it, right? Give me some more listens. And then I'll come back and say, all right, now that I've heard these songs 20 times, okay, I feel like I can really rank them much better. As far as I've probably listened to this album and Kid A about the same amount. It's tricky. That's very tricky. Their albums are so different. What do I think is the best album out of the 2? Probably Kid A.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
For me, this is an album where the side A of the album, like the Chromeo album we did, is like every song is basically a 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? It's like perfect for that, whatever that genre of music. Side B, some of the songs are not as strong as songs on side A. And I don't remember feeling that way about Kid A.
Yeah.
So that's why you just asked me to straight compare them right now, that would be my answer. Yeah.
That's one of the arguments I have if somebody says, you know, okay, computer's better in every way, and I say it's not though. Like
right.
It's I think they're neck and neck, honestly. Yeah, they sound completely different, but they're extra special in their own way. So
yeah, I'm going to go back and listen to both of the records again, and I'm going to go listen to the Bends again before we do that episode because I haven't heard that album in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, and maybe it's just nostalgia. I have to listen to it with like a fresh ear, so like I'm doing these, you know, try to do that as best I can. But yeah, I mean, yeah. First, simple answer, Mark, is something about Kid A. From front to back, every single song on that record is like, in its own way, like a little masterpiece, you know?
Yeah.
And I would say 80% of the songs on this record are that way.
You know, it's funny too. I remember when we listened to Kid A, like on first listen, you like the song Kid A, and that's like a notorious, like people hate that song notoriously.
It's a great song.
So,
I love that song.
I love it too. I always have. And it's just, people always are like, oh yeah, like I can't like stand like the vocals on it. I'm like, yeah, it's just like, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah, grow up.
Yeah. Get some taste, you freak.
Yeah. Open your ears for God's sake. It's just like Mark when you said you like the 20s, the Ghost song 20s, and lots of people hate that song. I'm like, yeah, that song is good. You know, stop hating. You know. It's a good song.
Yeah, because just people can't handle like, you know, people like trying new stuff and
exactly.
You know. That's why that's why everybody hated this album when it first came out. Well, not OK Computer, Kid A, and now it's some people argue it's their best album, myself included. So
I can see it. You can make the argument for it already for me.
yeah.
So Mark, summary, long story short, this album is obviously amazing. It's obviously one of the best albums of the 90s. I mean, I'm just saying that. I mean, you're comparing this versus the Benz versus Kid A. It's just comparing, Siamese Dream versus Melancholy Infinite Sadness. It's the same kind of comparison. It's just you're comparing greatness against greatness, basically. And you're going to have your personal preferences along the way, for sure. So, all right, Mark. Well, this has been a long one, but a fun one. Thanks for listening. If you're still watching this, it's like an hour and a half. So thank you. We had a good time talking about this. This is my first time really listening to it, digesting the songs. You may hate me for it if you I don't know. But as you can tell, I really did like the album. So, but yeah. And if you haven't heard this album before and you're still watching it, shout out to you. That's pretty cool. Go listen to this album. Let us know what you think. Put it in the comments. And we also have a free community Discord. That's our basically a big music club. It's all free. It's for the channel and all of the people that watch the channel that want to participate. And you can come in there. You could share anything you want, share songs, albums, whatever you want in there, genres, bands, decades, everything is in there. It's pretty fun in there. So come in there. The link for that will be in the pinned comment. Give us a like if you like the episode. Obviously, leave a comment and subscribe if you feel so inclined. It would help the channel. And maybe there's other cool stuff on the channel that you'd like. All right. Well, Mark, until next time.
Peace, y'all.
See ya.